Hello, everybody. Today is Thursday, June 29th, and I am feeling really pretty good this morning. And the sun is out, and it is sunny here in Amsterdam. I have a super busy day today. Right now is a really, really busy time for me. And I am traveling a lot and teaching. I'm teaching this fantastic school, Arts Umbrella from Canada, and they are just absolutely divine. Oh my God, it was so nice to be with them yesterday. I am seriously like a little kid, and this is really who I am. And I'm so playful and fun, and I love that. I love being with young people because they can be so vibrant, and especially artists. Somehow being around dancers and their ambition and their curiosity and their hunger and all that's really, really cool for me to experience often. And so I love working with education, and gratitude abounds this morning. I am here, sorry, that was my socks. I have to put them in my bag because I wear socks, like 3 different pairs of socks during the day. Good morning, everybody. I am here just to talk about something that I've said a few times in my vlogs and on my channel here. Let me turn my music down. And I'm going to just speak freely from my mind and just let it all come out as I do, because this is all unedited. Welcome back, subscribers. Oh, by the way, I have acquired or got a few subscribers in the last few days, and that's really it's so nice. And welcome to my channel if you're returning right now. So thank you for subscribing, and I will be seeing you every weekday in the morning, and leaving my morning talk just to share a thought, or just to share myself. And this is so exciting for me, and I tell you, I'm learning so much about myself right now doing this. So I would advise anybody to make a channel, because it's so interesting, and to get to know yourself and to put yourself out there and to feel vulnerable, like I was talking about yesterday, being vulnerable. So I am here to talk about, I always say and often say, I am not my story. So what does that mean when I say I am not my story? Okay, let me go back from the beginning. This is how I see life, and how I see, this is going to maybe be long, because I don't know. I have a little bit more time this morning before I have to leave. And so I'm just going to let my thoughts come, okay, as I do. So it's not like edited and makes it sound more interesting or whatever. I am not my story. First of all, this is how I perceive life in general, and how I'm looking at life and my life, because I investigate my life to figure out what this all is, and why are we here, and why am I on Earth? Don't you ponder these questions about why am I on Earth? I mean, I like to think, we are on a universe that floats, we are on a planet that floats in the universe. If that's not odd, I don't know. And what is that makes it sound odd and beautiful and extraordinary? And it really is. It's so interesting to think about. We're on a planet that floats in the universe, or, it's just up there. And when I was little, I used to look up at the stars and think, what is this all about? I was so curious, and that I had such an awareness when I was a child. I thought that was really very interesting. And I just, this is so strange. Will it just fall out of the sky? So I asked myself all these questions. Now, before I ramble on, because I have so much in my mind right now, and just want to give this morning, and I'm just going to talk about my story, Maurice. Okay, so when I was born to very young parents, and I came into this world, and I like to think that, when I look back, or if I try to look back, I don't remember those when I first came into this universe. I just popped out of my mom. I like to consider myself or how we are as babies. We come with a clean slate, maybe, before we are conditioned and domesticated and all those things that I like to talk about, because they're so interesting to to witness over time and to see that and how this ego person thing is formed. I am not my story, meaning I am not my ego. So the ego is created from all of your early experiences and everything. So when you come into this world as a child, I am born and I'm like a clean slate. And so immediately, soon I start to experience things, of course, because my eyes open, I pop out of my mom, they smack me or something, they cut my umbilical cord and I cry, and I'm disattached from my mom. So, like, what am I before I come? I have the DNA from my mom and my father and all of this combined, and I come in. So that beginning is like creating this little creature that's coming in. And they give him the name Maurice. And so I'm given my name, so that's part of my beginning story. And I'm affected by everything that is around me, all the people that come in and out of the hospital room and look at me through the window to see the baby, and it's so cute, and it's da-da-da, and this and that and that. And then I'm taken home and by my mom and my father, I guess. So that all starts. And so then I grow up and I'm conditioned. I was subjected to religion. I would like to say that because I was taken to church and everybody around me was going to church and religion, and no judgment from that, but that was my first impressions and in the beginning of my life. So I started to follow organized religion, and it started to tell me how I was supposed to be. And I was really into that, because everybody liked that. And so when I realized that if I would behave that way, I would be able to get attention from everybody, because that's what everybody did. So, I started adapting myself, and I started adapting myself through school. I realized this is going to be quite a long thing this morning, so I'll try to keep it as short as I can. I started adapting myself through school. So I was a sensitive child, and to be myself was very, very difficult in the sense of I started to follow what everybody else did, and I took it for granted, I think, at the time, because you just learn from experiences. You learn how in your home environment how to get your way, and how to behave, and what is good and what is right and wrong, and all these indoctrinating. I don't know the word. So anyhow, the conditioning was quite strong, and I think when I was 15 and 16, I left home when I was 16 years old. So I had a story and a background, and I started ballet. I loved all sports. I love to eat watermelon. I love to all these things that I like, and preferences and things like that. But I just like these things. But underneath everything, before I am conditioned by my environment, I am what I consider, I think, just a pure existence of love and acceptance and truth before all of these influences start coming in, creating who you are. So I start to go to school. I start going to school slowly but surely, and kindergarten, first grade, second grade, all the way up through high school. And people are projecting themselves onto me. I'm projecting onto them, and we start to have this play in life. So if I look at that, I'm thinking, what is real? If I start to go back to my existence and why I feel insecure, or why I feel not insecure in some situations and more insecure in other situations. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, when you modify yourself to fit into your environment, it is what you do to be accepted and to people please, which I talk about a lot of times, because I think that's just right now what I'm talking about on my channel, because I think that a lot of people are doing that, and I realize I am doing that. And so all of this, so this person or this ego, this thing is formed. And then I start dancing, and that's what I'm doing. And I start achieving, and I'm achieving, and so that is part of my story. But that's what I'm doing. That's not who I am. My story is not a reality because it's made up. I think this thing is made up. And I realize fundamentally what my emotions are me and what I'm feeling. My thoughts from the conditioning try to label my feelings, and my feelings are just feelings. And so they're human, and they're arising and falling and arising and falling. And I can attach to those feelings with my thoughts, but because those thoughts are coming from a story and a past. So like I am not, that's so clear to me that I am not that. So now in my 50s, starting in my 50s and earlier on, this investigating has kind of been going on in my whole life, but I'm finally finding courage to come out of it and start to feel like who I am and own who I am in my feelings and how I feel under certain circumstances, under certain conditions, when I'm around people and all of these things. And it is so liberating to realize that I am not my story. So I'm just saying that for me, I realize that I am not. When I dance or I choreograph or I teach and all these things, I am not that. I am the feelings behind that. The feelings that are arising and falling, which are natural, but somehow I'm not told that or not. We have to go with our feelings, and they're final, and they're like, they rule you, and you should stay a slave to them, are the thoughts, that are attached to the feelings. The feelings, I realize, are up and down. And that is human. And all of that is happening up and down. So I don't know, I just realized that I am not this story. And when I started to realize that I am not that story because it's created, or this ego is created, that I have an opportunity to be aware of that and stop attaching to that story. So that's what is happening with me and right now. And I am getting more and more, or I'm becoming more and more familiar with Maurice. And more still, like Maurice is my given name. Maurice Dwayne Causey is my given name. So that was given to me. That's just given to me. So by my parents, which is a loving name, and I love it, and I'm happy with my name. It is what it is. I'm actually content with everything because I have to be. I have to accept everything that is coming to my existence and am I experiencing. But as I see this as a play, it's and that story plays out in my life, I realize that that is what it is. And it's so momentary sometimes, I behave a certain way in this crowd, and I behave a certain way in this crowd, and that is part of my story that I'm taking with me. I want to shed that and just see it for what it is and what I wear, if you understand what I mean. So, like my ego, I feel like it's like a coat that I wear. So, I am not my story, and so now I have an opportunity that I realize that I start to become and create and play with this ego of mine in a good sense, because you can't get rid of it. During the spiritual journey here, I tried to get rid of my ego because I don't like the ego. It's like, but it is part of me, and I'm going to have fun with it. And to play with it. So you can play with your ego, but in a very constructive and fun way. So allow everything that arises and falls is very interesting to me to witness and see, but I am not that. So now is an opportunity for me to become myself and just to be brave and vulnerable, like I spoke about yesterday, to be brave and vulnerable and allow myself to experience these emotions and let them rise and fall without any labeling. So I realize that more and more that, I am a happy guy, and I love people. I just love my life, and I appreciate my life, and that's fundamentally who I am. And sometimes my story says to me, you should not, you should not express yourself, about being happy, and because people are annoyed when you're happy, I mean, especially all the time. But that is, man, I don't know, that's just what makes me feel good, and I'm exchanging with that energy that's coming to me. So I feel very fortunate that I can feel and find happiness or gratitude in most everything in my life, even the negative things. So that is like being aware and accepting what is, and uh, and then I can start living from where I want to live from, and not where everyone expects me to do, or how I think uh, I should be to please them or something like that. I need to please myself. So that's where I am right now, and I am so happy like that. I'm like a kid in a candy store, and sometimes, but am I supposed to be like that at 51? All of this stuff arises, and it says, and the questions and the conversation happens in my head and says, you shouldn't do this, you should. All the shoulds and musts and all that stuff is like obsolete. All this stinking thinking, I cannot. It's like it rises and falls, and it's so funny to watch it do that. Emotions go up and down and all that. So, yeah, so if you ponder this just for a second, and you realize that you're not your name, you're not your profession, you're not your ego, you are just, well, love. Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't that be the only truth for you? And that's what you are. And it's such a beautiful thing, because all of us have that in us, and all of us feel how we feel, and realize that we don't want to feel this way, or we want to feel that way, or this way. Preferences and choices. I don't believe there's a right or wrong. It's just the witness of the play, and letting it play out, and then not attaching to it, and then figuring out the second half of your life, maybe earlier on, you can figure out who you are. So I am knowing who I am more and more, and I am allowing that, and that's just lovely. And I think it's just an amazing thing for me to experience. And I'm here to share it with you, to maybe just look at that, look at your life, and see what is you and what's not you. And so you can live a more fulfilling life for yourself, and how you want to choose to live it, without all your conditionings, and unravel it all, and then see what's there. It's like the onion. I love the metaphor of the onion. You peel back all the layers of life, and all the layers and the conditioning. You keep peeling it back, which happens, it seems, in our lives with a lot of people. And then when you peel it back and you realize that there's nothing there, that you are nothing, and no thing. You are no thing. And that's another subject which I'm so interested in. Law of attraction and manifestation. And I've been living my life like that. Keep peeling back the onion, and you realize that nothing is there. And that's so beautiful. And that nothing is everything at the same time. If that makes any sense to you. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. And that is amazing. Just amazing to live my life like that. And I'm becoming more brave with myself, and more free. And, I just show love as much as I can, and respect. And that's what I get in return. So karma is what goes around comes around, I guess. And that's just the play. So you are love, my friends. And you are the captain of your own ship. You're not your story that's piled on top of you. And your modified self to fit into things, and for you to feel most comfortable. Find yourself and let go. Look at your story, let go of your story, and realize that you can remake that. And that's still your story, and it's still a concept. So it's just a healthy way. It's my healthy way, and I love just sharing that with you. So I hope you got something out of this, because I didn't know for sure exactly what I was going to talk about this morning. But this is what came up, and thank you for watching. And it's 20 minutes, but hey, I can't get life shit out in just 5 minutes. So enjoy your day, and I will see you tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching. If you're here for the first time, comment, like, the same old thing. Subscribe. I think it's right there. That subscribe button, or right there. I don't know which is which. All right. Much love. I love all of you subscribers, and all you new subscribers. Welcome. And if you're here for the first time, maybe you want to subscribe and ask me questions and stuff like that. And have a great day. Much love, and ciao, ciao, ciao.